Hello, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota. We're here to support you in finding a personal relationship with the God of your understanding and discovering what you already know. My name is Kathleen Frankert. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner and counselor here at the center. I greet you with Namaste. Namaste is the Sanskrit word that means the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Each week, we begin our time together by affirming our vision and mission statements. We do that to bring it to life for ourselves and for our spiritual community. The words can now be seen on your screen, and I invite you to join me in reading them. Our vision is empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive, worldwide community. And this is our mission. We teach science of mind principles and other life-affirming spiritual truths. We explore, we learn, we grow, we connect, honoring all paths to God. We offer in-person and online weekly services, classes, workshops, affirmative prayer support, and other spiritual tools. We create opportunities for joyful social connection, community outreach, and service. We celebrate the awakening of our innate spiritual magnificence. So now let's prepare for our time of prayer and meditation. I invite you to give yourself this gift of quiet reflection. Allow your eyes to close as we turn within. Our music director, Bob Teesdale, and guest soloist, Kassie Coykendall, now share a song to calm our minds and open our hearts in this and every moment.
In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. And every moment I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment I am safe and all is well. I am held, I am home, I surrender to it all. When I trust and let go, then I know that all is well. All is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well.
In this moment, I invite you to contemplate these words from the architect of our philosophy, Ernest Holmes. We now let go of everything and enter into a state of peace. We know the Spirit within us is God, the living Spirit Almighty. That God, who is infinite, perfect, and complete, never needed anything, never had any trouble, never could destroy. The God who never operated against itself, who never condemned itself. The Spirit that fashions each of us from its own perfect being. That infinite wholeness is perfect peace within us. That infinite intelligence is working through us and our affairs. Our thought is inspired, guided, governed, and directed by divine wisdom. That infinite wholeness is the circulation of ideas, of intelligence, wisdom, truth, and life. It is the elimination of every conception of confusion. It is the assimilation of that which is whole, happy, perfect. The divine intelligence is the government of our affairs. Each has within this guide to truth, to reason, to beauty, to right action, to certainty, and to peace. We claim and affirm, perfect intelligence directs my thought. For this realization, I am so grateful. In full faith and expectancy of this perfect intelligence now unfolding, for my greatest and highest good, I declare this to be so, and so it is. Today, our founding minister and spiritual director, Reverend Karen Wolfson, is taking the day off. So it is my pleasure to welcome our guest speaker, Reverend Cath De Palma. Reverend Cath is the former co-director of the Central Florida Center for Spiritual Living in Orlando, that she and her husband John co-led for 25 years. She's the author of I Can Do This Thing Called Life, and So Can You, and the newly released Energize Your Creative Superpowers, 7 Ways to Spiritual Fitness. For the last few years, she has been serving as an interim minister for Centers for Spiritual Living around the country, helping communities move through transition. Reverend Cath and Reverend John recently moved to Seattle to be closer to their sons and enjoy the great Northwest. The topic of Reverend Cath's talk today is Boldly Go. Before we hear from Reverend Cath, it's my pleasure to again introduce Kassie Coykendall and Bob Teesdale to present one of his original songs, Just Before the Dawn. Welcome, Kassie and Bob.
There are mountains you must climb, and valleys below, and sometimes your way may be dark and hard to see, but deep in your soul there's a guide, there's a light you can't deny, calling you on till you reach your destiny. And as you walk through the valley, you're never alone. God is always with you every step of the way. And every crisis that you face takes you to a higher place. You'll find the answer if you take the time to pray. So keep on looking for the light. This dark and lonely night won't last forever. So just hold on. Hold on. Let your soul lead you on to the place where you belong. And always remember that the darkest hour is just before the dawn. Don't surrender to your sorrow. Listen to the song of tomorrow, 'cause every dark night is a doorway to a brand new day. Life goes on, love shines through, time will pass, this will too. Faith is a river that will wash your cares away. So keep on looking for the light. This dark and lonely night won't last forever. So just hold on, hold on. Let your soul lead you on to the place where you belong. And always remember that the darkest hour is just before the dawn. So keep on looking for the light. This dark and lonely night won't last forever. So just hold on, hold on. Let your soul lead you on to the place where you belong. And always remember that the darkest hour is just before the dawn. You know the darkest hour is just before the dawn. Well, it's just before the dawn. So hold on. You know it's just before the dawn. You gotta hold on, 'cause it's just before the dawn.
Good morning. It is so wonderful to be with you this morning. So, how is everyone doing? And what's happening at this time of year that's creating extra tension, restlessness, surges of energy? Yes, you guessed it, springtime. If things seem a little bit more intense, that's because they are. It's not just you. No, you are not crazy. What do trees and plants do during the winter when it seems like they're dead? They lie dormant, they rest, they collect their energies and prepare for springtime when they burst. It takes a lot of energy for them to do that. Being one with nature, spring is happening in us as well. Cleaning, clearing, making way for the new. As physical beings, we undergo a process of lying dormant, resting, and regrouping. Ever feel like you don't know what's going on? That could be what's going on. Collecting our energies and preparing for a burst, a bloom of some kind too. Every time we turn inward in order to create outwardly, something greater is happening, putting our mental and spiritual energies to work by focusing on our desired outcome requires a lot of us. It requires an enormous amount of energy. This is really happening all the time once we realize we are conscious creators. It's just a bit exaggerated at this time of year because we are a part of a larger burst going on with everything else around us. Now, of course, it's more obvious in some parts of the country than in others. Nevertheless, it is there. Indeed, there is an upheaval as the seed we planted in our minds breaks through the surface and comes into being. Hang on, do whatever helps ground you so that you can be ready to bloom. Some of you may be early bloomers and had your big bloom for the season already. This may all sound very familiar to you. Either way, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You may not understand what's going on when it's happening. It might seem unsettling. What we called into being is transitioning into form, and with this new life coming forth all around us, we are coming forth as well into the next new iteration of ourselves. Isn't that wonderful? We may have thought that it was about the experience we desired to enjoy. It really was more about us. In reality, we are transformed in the process. Meet the new you. The one life that we are all living together is moving through us. We are fully activated with spirit in every moment to the degree that we recognize what's going on. Now, what does all of this mean to us? Well, there's a really cool feature that comes with being human. Are you ready to hear it? Because we exist within a universal field of mind, which is all, the minute that we make a definitive statement, which we do quite frequently, whether we're aware of it or not, the minute that we do that, whatever we said ceases to be just our personal business. It is broadcasted everywhere. It becomes universally known. Sharing the one mind that we do, what is known at one place of existence is immediately known at all places by all. Even if we aren't tuned into it, into this mind, at that frequency, that information is available to us. Each time that we make a declaration, an affirmation, a prayer, or a treatment, the creation of the very thing that we said begins to take form, and that form is custom tailored to reflect the unique representation of spirit that we are. Someone else could place an order for the very same thing, and it would look very different than it does for you or for me, because we offer a point of attraction that no one else does. So while we may think that our statement is coming from little old us, or for our ears only, or is contained within our own minds, it now becomes a universal project acted upon by the entire universe. Oh my gosh, we just kicked off a process. And then spirit, God, life, kicks in with more ideas, direction, inspiration, guidance, plus works behind the scenes with whomever or whatever else is needed to make that happen. Cool, huh? It is so cool. This feature comes in with every human. It's a part of the life from the very beginning. It has been a part of every human since the beginning of time. It is a part of every human who shall ever live. And along with what was created, we have become more. We have grown. We have evolved. That's the added benefit. We aren't playing with fire when we say things, but we are literally playing with an immensely powerful creator. The creator of all is that same creator within us. Can you see how knowing and understanding this, practicing it, can really make a difference as to whether a person lives a so-so life or an extraordinary one. I ran across a story that I want to share with you this morning. I was very impressed by it. It's about a chef who creates his masterpieces and takes his work to another level. His name is Daniel Hum. Some of you may have seen this on a documentary. He's a Swiss chef. And in his early 40s, he owned a restaurant called 11 Madison Park in New York City. In 2010, his restaurant got an award for being one of the world's 50 best restaurants. And shortly after that, they moved up to being #1 in the world. How did he accomplish that? He accomplished that because he not only believes in exceptional dishes, exceptionally delicious dishes, mouth-watering, but along with that, gracious service. Everything is done with great care and exquisite attention to detail. They even set an intention for each new dish they create. The creative process in action. Can you imagine how much more delicious and satisfying that food must be with all of that love and attention that goes into the preparation of it? How well fed his patrons must be. It's hard not to see how much intending that goes into everything they do. I don't know if he knows that he's using the creative process, if he understands that or not, but he's living it and using it. And that's really what matters. Chef Hum says our best work comes when we really challenge each other. It's not always easy, but it has made us unstoppable. What an affirmation, right? Weeks after the restaurant received their #1 placing, their #1 award, he closed down the restaurant. Now, why would he do such a thing? And he quotes the famous Dutch-American abstract expressionist known for his action painting, William de Kooning, who inspires him. And he says, I have to change to stay the same. I have to change to stay the same. What he is really saying is, I too have to keep growing and expanding. It's not about reaching a level and getting comfortable there. I can't keep doing the same things and expect different and better results than I've had before. I have to up my game. Now, he knew they couldn't rest on their laurels. He had to keep going, expanding himself, and push the boundaries of himself and those around him. He said it's easy to get to the #1 position, but much more difficult to stay there. So he decided to create a new, better than ever menu, plus have a whole new look to the restaurant that more accurately reflected the new intention they wanted to achieve. One of the things they did while breaking down their original restaurant was to melt down all of the pots and pans in the kitchen and anything else metal along with them. I'm not even sure how you can do such a thing. I'm not even sure how you'd go about that, but that's what they did. Out of all of that old metal, their old story, they then proceeded to create a step for the entrance of their new restaurant. And anyone who walked into the new idea of their restaurant had to walk over their old idea. Now, a very expensive looking metal step in order to get inside. Very impressive, very creative. Chef Hum says, passion is not a hobby. You have to be willing to suffer for it. Now, we don't believe in suffering here, especially unnecessarily. But what I believe he is trying to say is we have to be willing to put our whole heart and soul into what we are creating. And there are always things that we give up in order to focus on what's most important to us. And that's true, isn't it? I love this story. I love it because it's a beautiful example of someone living on the cutting edge of what's possible. We need stories like his to stay awake and to the preciousness of life, the potential that is waiting for us to tap into and to be more of who we came here to be. What we do affects everyone and everything else. The way we do things affects the collective. The success we achieve for all. The things we rise above and get beyond, we do for us all. We all benefit. I don't think we have to go out and create a restaurant. That's not the point. What we are called to do, and how can, what are we called to do? And how can we do it with greater passion and joy, including how we live every moment? Those are the questions that we need to consider. What if we really knew that we were invincible spirits incarnated into these bodies? What if we really knew that we were backed by the entire universe in our every desire? The universe, life, spirit wants us to succeed, wants us to enjoy the paradise and opportunity that it has created. And there are those such as Andrew Cohen that say, spirit, life, the universe needs us on this level to expand itself. So our work and play in this area, on this plane of action, is very essential to life everywhere. Now, how would we live if we really accepted that we are so much more than we appear to be? In this thing called You, Ernest Holmes writes, you exist that the divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you. You exist that the divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you. Just like Chef Hum, we always have an opportunity to create something entirely fresh, alive, and new out of what was, our yesterdays, and push the boundaries of what is possible. We have to change to stay the same or stay at the level that we are. Life really demands that we evolve, play a larger role in the game in order to thrive and be happy. This doesn't mean that we have to go all out and do great, humongous things. It really is about doing the little things that we have control over with extreme love and care. Let the universe be concerned about the bigger things. They will happen for us as we continue to live this way. I like what Margaret Wheatley in her book, Leadership and the New Science, writes. I crave companions, not competitors. I want people to sail with me through this puzzling and sometimes frightening world. I expect to fail at moments on this journey, to get lost. How could I not? And I expect that you will at times fail too. Even our voyage is cyclical. We can't help but move from old to new to old and back to new again. We will vacillate. One day doing something bold and different, excited over our progress. The next day back to old behaviors, confused about how to proceed. We need to expect that we will wander off course and not make straight progress to our destination. To stay the course, we need patience, compassion, forgiveness. We should require this of one another. It will help us be bolder explorers. It might keep us from going mad. What we are getting to here is the need to create a sacred container, an atmosphere, a culture, a strong, creative, loving environment with our relationships, partnerships, our families, our spiritual centers, from which we can all live and play and work together, demonstrating results that support individual and collective growth and expansion, continuously surpassing what has been, especially in regards to loving one another. We start by loving and honoring ourselves, and we work from there, showing extreme respect to ourselves, building a relationship with ourselves that we can trust, creating a space from which we can express that which is coming from us from a deeper spiritual place. If we want to achieve the rewards of living an exceptional life, we must put it all on the table. We must open our hearts wider, let down our ego defenses, and dare to live authentically from our higher self. Trust where our higher self wants to go. It can only be good. Boldly going forward. I would like to close with this beautiful poem by Holly Holden called "What Wants to Be Born in You, Beloved?" Here goes. I invite you to just take a moment and close your eyes and accept this for yourself, because it's so beautiful. And this is the note that I'm going to end on, sharing our beautiful time together today. What wants to be born in you, beloved? I have become grateful for the moments when I remember to stop in order to listen to what the earth has to tell me. This morning, it was a flower who took me by surprise and shared her secrets with me. She told me of her journey, how it began in darkness, in the quiet, cool embrace of the quiet, generous earth. She told me how the light called to her and how slowly but solidly she began to unfold towards the simple inevitability of her calling. She told me of the exquisite cracking open of all she knew herself to be. The opening that felt like death until she realized it was her birth. And then with her open petals, she asked me in a way only a full bloomed flower can ask. What wants to be born in you, beloved? What does the light want to call into being from that quiet, generous earth that waits patiently in the cave of your heart? Namaste.
Pick yourself up, take a deep breath, dust yourself off and start all over again. Nothing's impossible, I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off and start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the challenge of the day is done. You may be sick and tired, but you'll know for sure you've won. Don't you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? They picked themselves up, dust themselves off, and started all over again. Challenge of the day is done. You may be sick and tired, but you'll know for sure you won. Don't you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? So take a deep breath, pick yourself up, know who you are, pick yourself up and start all over again.
Thanks, Cassie and Bob. What a great song to anchor the message. We so appreciate your sharing your talents with us this week. And Reverend Cath, we appreciate your encouragement to take on opportunities in life with enthusiasm and faith. Thank you so much for joining us today. At the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota, we're pleased to support you with prayer, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual community and connection. And now it's time to share our offering that supports our ability to continue to be here for you. There are 3 easy ways to contribute. On your screen, you see our website, www.cslsarasota.com, where you can select the donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or credit card. Or you can mail a check to our address shown there, or you can arrange for automatic contributions through your own online banking. And now I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand, place it over your heart, blessing it as you share it. And know this with me, my gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. And the divine flow returns it to me multiplied abundantly. And now let us declare together our offering affirmation. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. Thank you so much. Do you have a prayer request? I invite you to visit the website and click on the green prayer request button, where you may seek prayer support for any intention you have or challenge you may be facing. We have 5 licensed spiritual practitioners, Ron Frost, Jim Grove, Nicole Leeds, Sean Scanlon, and me, who are available to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you. Our practitioners are also available by appointment for 1-hour spiritual coaching sessions. These sessions offer the opportunity to explore a deeper understanding and practical application of the spiritual truth in the midst of your problem or challenging issue. For more information, check out their page at our website by selecting the Staff tab on the left side of the page. Also on your website, you can sign up to receive our weekly email newsletter, or check out our Facebook page for posts about upcoming events and find past services and videos on our YouTube channel. I have a couple of announcements to share today. Mark your calendars now and join us for brunch at 11:30 Sunday, May 22nd at the beautiful Sarasota Yacht Club. This will be a wonderful time to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones as we enjoy food, fellowship, and the incomparable view of Sarasota Bay. We need your help in planning this get-together, so please email cslsrq@comcast.net by May 16th if you plan to attend. We look forward to seeing you there. And are you looking for a way to connect with this community between Sundays? Then I invite you to our Spiritual Living Circle, which meets via Zoom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Each week we have a lively discussion hour that is facilitated by licensed spiritual practitioner Jim Grove about an article from this month's Science of Mind magazine. The article discussed this week is entitled, Creating the New Thought of Tomorrow. If you're not currently on the email list, please drop Jim a note at the email address shown here, and he will send you the Zoom link, article, and discussion guide. These circles are always open to newcomers and to all at no charge. It's a great way to have a midweek faith lift. We hope to see you there. And now, as we conclude this sacred time together, let us do so with the intention to live in light, love, health, and perfect peace. I invite you to listen or join in singing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Thank you so much for being with us.